of time up here. Hello and welcome, Grand Rapids. Thank you for joining us this evening. I'm your anchor, Josie Sabo.
And I'm your other anchor, Becca Boerman.
And because you just spent the weekend searching your house with your nightcap and stub of candle looking for spirits, we're delivering you the top local, national, and world news that you may have missed.
You're welcome, Grand Rapids. This is
NewsFlash. Our top story tonight. A hacker breached the database on the ancestry site 23andMe due to some user password insecurity. The breach exposed the DNA results of over 6.9 million users. To put this in perspective, 6.9 million is the number of DNA results you would get from swapping the toilet seat at Mulligan's.
The city of GR recently began installing new city benches downtown, mostly in the area around Monroe Center Street. While the city claimed they were simply needing to replace the 20-year previous benches, some were criticizing the new benches for being too, quote, aggressive and targeting the city's unhoused population to prevent people from sleeping on them. Let's take a look. Seems a bit much, but the city claims that they just want to reclaim the title of Furniture City after being overrun by beer for so long. So here are some other proposed designs for the so-called aggressive furniture. A couch covered in spikes.
A Herman Miller Ames chair with live mouse traps.
And an office chair with a speaker that yells at you to get a job.
Last week, the White House unveiled plans for a high-speed rail system in Atlanta. Incidentally, Hunter Biden's ears perked up when he heard the words high, speed, and rails. But the real story here is that it took 4 years for Joe to do something with trains.
17-year-old Peter Park set records as the youngest ever to pass the California bars exam after he was bitten by a radioactive attorney. And in 4 years, he can pass the other bar exam.
Scientists are working on an incredible genetically modified apple with a mind-blowing new feature. It can be eaten right off the tree, unlike other apples which must be butchered and cooked to proper temperatures.
Scientists say microplastics from the water supply that have evaporated into the clouds may be changing the weather, primarily because the pieces are from action figures of Storm from the X-Men. Anyways, we're looking forward to the Weather Channel reporting today's plastic percentage over smooth jazz.
That would soothe my anxieties about it all. And now, because this time of year, the majority of the stories are either about horrific accidents and tragedies or animal stuff, we're gonna focus on the latter. It's time for NewsFlash. Ooh, you broke the bell. Last month, the Houston Zoo successfully hatched a Malagasy sacred ibis chick, the rarest bird in the world, making it the hottest new gift of the holiday season. Actually, by doing so, it is now technically no longer the rarest bird in the world, cutting its value in half for collectors. Back on top, the hologram Pidgeotto. Members of the underground birdwatching community paid top dollar to witness the hatching.
What's the spread on that? Sorry, I mean the wingspan?
Meanwhile, dodos are like, hey!
A gorilla at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park named Winston recently turned 51 years old, making him one of the oldest gorillas in captivity. When asked, Winston credited his habit of smoking a full pack of banana peels a day for his long life, right before yelling at the younger gorillas to stay off his flat rock, complaining about how nobody wants to fling feces anymore, and reminiscing about how he used to have to climb the Empire State Building both ways in the snow before turning back to Fox News. Zoo employees are working hard to protect him from heart disease, so they're trying to wean him down to just a dozen peels a week and a bowl of Cheerios a day instead, but he claims those are harder to smoke.
I'll take it. That's all right. A pilot of a critical care pilot in Iowa was taken by surprise when a bird crashed through his windshield and hit him in the head, leading to a messy cockpit full of guts and feathers. He thinks it might have been a duck, but he was a little fuzzy. Oh. The story is the inspiration for Quentin Tarantino's upcoming collaboration with Pixar, Pulp Fiction.
I know, right? Biologists say feral goldfish over a foot long and weighing more than 3 pounds are menacing the Great Lakes. That's right, every flushed goldfish is a potential villain origin story.
Aging manatees Romeo and Juliet are being moved to a new sanctuary after a report from the USDA revealed dismal conditions at their current home at the Miami Seaquarium, where they have been kept since 1956, such as being isolated from each other and lack of proper vet care.
In fair Miami, where we lay our scene, 2 sea cows, both alike in neglect.
This is more of a criticism of the original owners for naming them because we all know how Romeo and Juliet ended. But also it makes sense that an old couple in their 70s are sticking around in Florida.
According to an article on Science Alert, honeybees suffer unnecessarily in human-made hives. Some of the biggest complaints include they don't like the wallpaper. They can't stand the popcorn ceilings, and there's not even a queen. They got a California king instead.
You can't break another one. Last month, a female shark at the Brookfield Zoo gave birth after 0 contact with any males. Oh, cool, a virgin birth, just in time for Christmas.
Jesus shark do 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 do.
Jesus shark do 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 do. Jesus shark do 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 do. Jesus' shark's arrival was announced by a host of holy angelfish as dolphins watched their pods at night.
Unfortunately, Shark Mary had to give birth in a bathtub, for there was no room for her in the tank.
But Shark Mary and Shark Jesus were visited by 3 wise whales bearing gifts of seaweed, plankton, and kelp.
And the little drummer blobfish.
Do it.
Blah, 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 blah.
Thank you. And by this time next year, we anticipate Shark Jesus to be added to the official Holy Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Shark. The spirit was on thin ice anyway. That is, if Pope Flatfish has anything to say about it.
We'd like to thank our writers for NewsFlash this week, and if you'd like to see your name up here, you can submit your jokes to comedyoutletmondays@gmail.com with the subject NewsFlash Tips.
And follow Comedy Outlet Mondays on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram to rewatch videos of past shows, get notified of lineups for future shows, and find our submission form to get your act on stage and learn about other ways to get involved.
And if you can't wait for that, you can hop up on stage at the end of the show during our free open improv jam.
Do it! But now, Grand Rapids, you're welcome. Newsflash, this is Comedy Outlet Mondays. Oh, kind of came up.